Hello world, Way of Time here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now these oil tankers are getting a little full. As you see, I added a few more, but it's not too much to worry about right now. We can probably just put 2 more oil tanks right there and it'll fill right up. So I have some extra oil tanks here, so what I think we should do is use these diamond gears up and these redstone torches to make 2 more refineries. And yes, I did add those iron pipes at the top because, you know, being stupid, yeah, it's not exactly the most fun experience in the world. Okay, got that there, so there's going to be 2 things we're going to need to do. 1, we're going to need to take a bunch of that oil and bring it over there. We already have that pipe done. 2, we're going to need to bring some of this fuel to over here. That's the first thing we're going to need to do, so let's flip the switch and slowly bring all of this yummy liquid over, and it looks like it's going pretty quickly. Now, don't think this is anywhere close enough to fill all of these tanks, the tanks in these, so we're pretty much going to have to play that by ear. But I do have this and the other lever here enabled, so when we do flip the switch we can start at high speeds. Now this stuff is going to change when I finally get like enough fuel for later, but bringing some more of this oil down, it'll be a bit slower since it is, you know, a normal cobblestone pipe. Sorry, stone pipe. I can probably change it to gold later when I amass the resources. I did get quite a few diamonds from the quarry so far, so that's not going to be too much of a bother. Now, I think this should be good. We got a lot of fuel into these. Don't have any water yet, but that's going to come when we get this done. And that's going at a slow rate because it's inhibited by the iron pipe there, so there's not much I can do about that. Turn that off. Keep that running, because now we're finally getting oil in here. And I think we have enough oil to start, so let's check if our contraption is working by flipping these very difficult things to get. And we see some of it's going to the water tanks. That's filling up really quickly. And some of it's going to the refinery. Now let's flip this switch. There's so many switches, I don't know what to do. Flip this switch and we can get all of the fuel to come out of this. Now it's probably not completely optimal because we do have a bit of water coming out of this. Though I'm hoping that this is actually efficient in the fact that it doesn't use too much of the stuff. Now, we're finally getting our first bit of... Whoops, that's a problem. We're finally getting our first bit of fuel now that it's actually leaving, so we can have that come in and yay, hooray! And we can leave that running for a bit while everything else is going, and hopefully that we actually, you know... What am I even saying at this point? I have no bloody idea. So we can probably increase this array so that we have a bunch of refineries on the wall with redstone engines, and eventually we're going to get to the point where we can make our very own... Drum roll, please, maestro. Assembly table. Assembly table is going to be a bit expensive because it does need diamond gears and a diamond. And it will also need lasers. Because, you know, they kind of laugh at me. The lasers aren't as expensive as the other stuff, so that won't be too much of an issue. And we can just keep this running in verbatim or whatever the phrase is, while this is slowly taking the fuel away. Now I am kind of running out of things to do, so going to do this episode, and if you have any suggestions whatsoever of what I can do afterwards, yeah, feel free, because kind of want to do some fun stuff without being completely bogged down. Well, without further ado, let's get the assembly table and a good laser area. We can probably put lasers around here, though this is going to be our storage area. Maybe building up this place so that it's a bit more classy would be a classy decision. Like an actual archway and doorway would not go amiss. So let's get a bit of a harsh outline out, cover this up with some glass and stone so that we're not tripping over the place, and see what's the next step in our plan. Okay, I'm gonna leave the building of the stuff for later, so we should probably do some other stuff. The main thing that we're going to need for all of these lasers is, well, lasers, and we're going to need quite a bit of obsidian. Now, if I remember correctly, I do have a huge chunk of obsidian in here. Here we go. And some redstone. We can then bring all of this stuff together with a few diamonds. Let's see, do we have any diamonds in the system? Yes, we do. Let's just take all the diamonds. Probably could have just went there. And see, we're going to need lasers. I think we should go with 4 lasers, probably. But we're also going to need the project table, which is going to be, not the project table, the assembly table, which is going to be our main issue. We'll need to make a diamond gear, and we're going to need 6 obsidian. So let's get a gold gear from this. Here we go. Have that get created, and while we're waiting, we can just get this here. Put all of our diamonds right here. Get the gold gear into our diamond gear. Get another diamond. And get a project table. Assembly table. I'm going to continually mess that up until something happens, apparently. And that's oil is still going strong and refining very slowly. You can probably keep that going, and it looks like it's getting water. The water is staying at a good rate. Let's get this fuel. And let's think. We're going to have this glassed up. So we're going to need to figure out a good place to put this assembly table. Yay, I got it right. Woohoo. Huh, that's not doing anything. That's odd. That might explain why it isn't going optimally. We can fix that later since it's not that important. Okay. Assembly table. Assembly table, assembly table, assembly table. Where is the best place to put this? We're going to have our oil down there and our fuel down there. So we can't really block this aesthetically. But what we can do is bring one of these pipes up, since we're going to need quite a few of these conductive pipes for the lasers. Where is the exact center of this room anyways? I know this center line for that is there, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it will be here. If this is the center, that's good. So, having the assembly table right here. And we'll need a glass floor. Got 1 piece of glass, 17 pieces of glass. That's good. No. And we can put these, since they have nice connected textures, we can just put them nice for a little decor, and that actually looks like it'll be good. Above it, on the other hand, we're going to need to put some lasers at, like, I'm not sure. What is the height that lasers can go at while still matching the table? I'm guessing that height will be good. And we can put all of the tubes. Whoops. I did a little control over there. That should be a good enough height so we can put our lasers, lasers there. I am so out of it. Our lasers can go there, and it should give a nice little happy-go-lucky feeling or something. This can also probably go up, or how will I bring this up without it being too obtrusive? Can have it go up in the wall or something. Yeah, it will need to go up in the wall. Though, yeah, let's just put a temporary patching, and I think 9 lasers in the end will be a good amount. Though, obviously, we're not going to start with 9 lasers because that would just be preposterous. I think that's a good setup. If we look at how the dispersion is, it'll be a 5-way split if all the energy comes here. So then it'll go here, it'll have a fifth of the energy, a third will go down there. There seems like it'll be even enough. And it is underneath it completely good. And this is pretty much going to say how big our roof is going to be. If the centerpiece is going to be like that, we'll have to put a ring of cobblestone, eventually smooth stone around it, so that we don't actually see what's going on here. And this looks like it'll be a taller roof than the others. So we're going to have to account for that. And also it looks like we're going to have a 3 wide arch upwards or something like that, because otherwise it will not work. Now, in the meantime, let's take this down, this and this, because we should move it on top to make way for the pipes that we're gonna, not the pipes, but anyways, should notice that. Yeah, make way for the pipes that are going to go upwards, up and over. And I guess later we can focus on how this sweeps up. But for now, we might have just enough. Please be just enough. Wow. We are 2 pipes off. That really sucks. That really, really, really sucks. So let's take these down to put them up here instead. And yes, I am thinking off the top of my head, like I usually do. And that's not really enough energy, judging by the stream, to get really serious. So what I should do is get some more pipes, since that's going like well enough. It's probably actually would be sufficient for more than one. And of course, I lose energy right while I am in a big hole, because it can't happen at any other time. But judging by that look, it looks like it'll be good. Probably have a ring and glass instead, though those aesthetics are something I'll have to plan out later. So I probably should say what my plans are right now. My plans are that I'll get the assembly table and the lasers done right away, so I can start on all the different logic circuits that I can make with this. For instance, I'm going to need to make diamond chipsets eventually if I want to do very advanced logic. How do you get in there anyways? It's so annoying. The reason I'd want to do some advanced logic is that I'll want to have some switches on the walls to control this entire oil facility. Like, I don't want to have a bunch of redstone to just go, hey, I'm going over here, herpa, or something like that. I want to be able to have some switches on the wall where I just right-click or left click, whatever the case is, click on the switch and it'll go down through the network, and depending on which switch I go, say if I want to go, like I want to turn half the engines on, I'll flick that particular switch and it will put the stuff in. Also, I want some logic circuits that will determine if there is oil flowing through this tank. If there is, it will turn this on. Or it will turn on by another method. That I'm going to have to determine. Yeah, it's going to be very fun figuring that out, but considering the other stuff that I can do with all the red power logic, I think I'll be fine. So, let's see, do I have any other normal golden pipes? I've got gold, probably, way over there. Not here, though. I got gold way over here. Heck, let's just get for the gold. 2 gold. I got the sufficient amount of redstone also, so that's not going to be an issue. 2 gold. 1 of this. And 2 more redstone. There we can finally patch up the pipe. Now we're going to need to make, let's make 4 lasers for now. Save the rest of the obsidian for later. For later. So that we won't be completely broke. Got 4 lasers, and this will be sufficient for the project table. We'll also need a bunch of roses, which we have for the rose dye. The rose dye is important, and the other dyes. I think it's cactus green, rose, red, dandelion yellow, and lapis lazuli blue. Those 4 will be needed to be able to create the wires in this, which go directly on the pipes. I think I might actually raise that roof, but I'm gonna have to figure that out. Also, I'm going to need to recharge my jetpack so that I'll have more mobility, so I'll do that right now. Nom 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 nom. Okay, let's go onwards with the rest of the lasers. Hey, get away. Wow, they're overrunning the place. And from what I understand, interdiction torches don't do a bloody thing on them. Maybe coating half slabs, though I hear that's equally futile. Now this is still running, so we can get 1 laser, 2 laser, 3 laser, 4 laser in a nice pattern. Hopefully that's going to be at a sufficient height, or insufficient, I'm not sure. Whatever. And patch this in, and it looks like I was only missing 1. Shame. Okay, so this should be sufficient for energy, and it might be a little odd with how it's set up, but depending on how efficient that Space Toad coordinated all of this, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, I'm not sure what are the things that I'll need. I will need iron, and I will need gold, but a simple redstone chipset won't go amiss right now, so let's create that. And we don't even have sufficient energy for such a task. Let's see, that's still running, and that is 2. Now it's getting energy. For some reason, it wouldn't allow energy to go when this was patched in. Just completely disappears. Almost like it's too lossy for the system or something like that. I'm not sure. It'll probably need more of these. Let's try something. Take this out and take... Whoop. That'll probably be too much energy. Take this out. So that's going to be going happy-go-lucky. And if we put this in, it'll stutter like an idiot. Put this in instead. Put that in so that it bypasses. And it'll be creating energy. All of the energy is instead going to the water tanks. which isn't what we want, but we will want one redstone chipset. Sufficient? I'm not sure. Sufficient is my middle name. Though it doesn't look like we're getting anything whatsoever, so if we try taking this out, it'll divert all of the energy to, yeah, it might be a little too lossy with all of this. I'm not sure how this energy stuff works. It should be sufficient like so. So let's try getting these stuff out of the way. And we're actually getting something. So with the setup that we had earlier, it did not work. Let's try putting this in. It's still going at a good speed, so let's try patching this in instead, as well rather. And we're still getting energy going to each point. Obviously, most of our effort is going into the making of that chipset, so the priority seems to be going towards the lasers. So that's good to know, actually. Priority is always seemingly to go to the lasers. Ha! Laugh at me now! So priority goes to the lasers, and probably towards these as well. So what I think I'm going to do right now is turn off these and have them reset their energy for a bit. Get back. Get back. Reset the energy, reset the water. It's going to take a while for it to recool and everything. And we're going to want to start figuring out what type of chipsets we'll want. We're going to need to get iron, and let's put this chipset in here to see if we have any. We got a gate. Not sure what a gate will get us right now. Not much, seeing as we don't have any energy whatsoever in our system. Huh? Actually, we do. So this must store up a certain amount of energy and then totally quit. So the lasers seem to store up energy for later use, and that's good to know. Looks like my Thaumcraft purification rig is going slowly but surely. And it might be stuck at pure V's. This setup doesn't... Why are you raining? Sigh. Whoa, that's a lot of errors. I think that's the most I've seen on a crystal. So, I'm probably doing a bit of an idiot right now. So, what I'll do is get a bit more red alloy wires, since that is something we're going to need a lot of. That means we'll also need to get a bunch of iron from our systems. So how much iron do thou have? About yay much. So getting iron to make some stuff over there, or figure out stuff we can make over there, will be a good first step. As well as figure out some sort of system that we'll be able to make. Put this in and see if we get anything else. We are able to make iron chipsets, which is nice and dandy. Though that's not too much to worry about. Yes, red alloy. That's what I was going to make. So I'm guessing we can go with... it looks like we'll have enough for 16. So we'll get 15 actually. 15 red alloy. 16, let's go with that, the original amount. We'll get 16 red alloy. That'll be sufficient for our needs when we're doing some basic lever pulling. And we don't have any other things that we can do, so let's just turn that to smooth stone. And then wait out this rain as well as that cooling cycle. See you on the other end. Okay, we're back, we're up, we're refreshed, and we're probably a little too hyper. But without further ado, let's continue. Okay, so I was thinking one of the first things that we're going to obviously need to make are these wires. These wires are going to be a little pesky, so we'll need a lot of them. We'll need red rows, red rows, red rows, and we'll need, what, is it iron or something? Yes, we'll need iron and redstone as well as the red rows to make red pipe wire. The red pipe wire will go on the pipes to perform a variety of tasks, but they will also need the simple logic gates to make. So to make the simple logic gates, we'll need a bunch of redstone as well as as well as other stuff. Let's see. We'll need redstone, we'll need iron, we'll need a lot. We can probably dispatch with some of this nickelite, actually some of this gold and iron. Iron always good. But we also have some redstone somewhere. We have a remainder of redstone over here, so we might as well grab that. See how unprepared we can be, and I'm not gonna let you finish. Haha. Okay, we got redstone. We can throw it in one of our condensers with some gold to get enough redstone, probably to last a couple centuries or so. Yeah, one gold bar. Oops. It's still gonna work, so there we go. That's still not sufficient. Better. Okay, so we got that going. We have enough redstone to work. And I think we're going to only need, 64 red pipe wires is probably going to be enough for this. Oh, we are also going to need to, should be enough. And we're also going to need a lot of gates. Simple gates for now, as long as they can accept red pipe wire. So what we should do is just get one of these simple gates ready for use. But we're also going to need to get our limited supply of redstone awesomeness this way. So take this off, put that down, and get us a lever. La di da di da da, blup blup blup, and lever. Okay. So let's reactivate this, since I know you'll want to eventually. So we got one going. And we got more than one going, so that will be going. We'll make one gate for now, because that's all we can create. One gate to see what we can do with this. It's going at an impeccably fast speed, as you can see. And it's making those go very slow. So that means we're going to need to use make this array a lot more sophisticated than this. And that'll be happening in the future when we get enough resources and when that fuel is going far enough. Okay, time lapse. And we got our very first gate. I think to test this gate out, we're going to want to put it, we don't want that. So that's going to make a lot of wires very quickly at the speed of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I better think of something quickly. Too late. Okay, I guess that solves our wire issue. We can just get those wires and check a gate. Okay. This gate is basically going to see if there's power traversing, or if the engine's blue, or... Okay, that's basically not going to be good enough for us. This basic gate, not gonna cut it. How do we remove the gates anyways? Is there some sophisticated tool in which to remove the gate that I am not aware of? Oh, I know. I think this is called the screw it phase. So why don't we just screw it and whack it, because it is annoying and I've got better things to do than just twiddling around and doing stupid stuff like that. Okay. Why did I re-add it because it's useless. Okay, now that that's done, let's check if our gate can be used for anything, and did I even pick it up? Why are you so difficult on me? Blap. There, much better. Okay, now, does this gate get used for anything? No. Let's take this rose red out for now. So no, let's add a red pipe wire to see if we can make anything. And currently that's a no, so we're going to need to add some more of this and this and make some iron chipsets because it looks like that's the only thing we'll be able to make with this. Okay. Getting all the power that I need, diverting all the energy from the refinery to the laser complex, and we'll eventually get a wire. Now the only problem with this annoyance is the fact that, hey, where am I going to put a pipe to divert all the stuff that's going to enter? Can probably just put like tubes or something so that it will just go whisk away into a storage chest. But that's not really clean considering that it's, well, what is it? A 5/8 slab? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's not even any real round number. 9/16. That's kind of, hey, that's the ratio of TV. Oh my gosh, it's a TV slab! Isn't it amazing? Ha ha! Getting carried away here, aren't I? Okay, got our first redstone chipset. We can see what we can make with this. We can make iron AND gates or an iron OR gate. Let's go with our AND gate because that's probably going to take some red pipe wires. The OR gate will also, though I think we'll want to go with the AND gate for now, just for some simplicity. Now what I'm thinking is that we're going to have a bunch of wires eventually on these. We'll want the red pipe wire, of course, but we'll also want yellow pipe wires as well. And if this AND gate is anything that will be any sort of miracle, it will be able to say, hey, I want these amount of processes to be true before you do any of this whatsoever. Hopefully that's the case. If not, I'm going to be really pissed off right now and have to figure out some other stuff to be able to do. Insert chest of awesomeness. Yay. So I'm guessing this is going to be the phase of, hey, this is going to take forever and beyond, so we'll probably just expand this array to see, well, the maximum amount of water which will be needed. Actually, we can probably solve that right away by, that's not getting any power, is it? Yes, it is. So let's get this out of the way. Divert water to here. And see later if this one pump is able to get the needs of all of that. Now one problem I am foreseeing right now is that these might overheat while I am waiting for everything to go, because this might be taking all of the energy that it can to be able to make the chipsets. Now what I think I'm going to do is instead just put cobblestone pipes around this place so that it will just circle around, similar to the setup I used before, because it will need to, what I'm thinking is that it'll take the iron chipset and then circle around, bring it around, and then eventually put it back in the table so that it can be used by another process. If it works like that, I'll be able to continually make and make and make and make more iron AND gates. I want to make more iron OR gates later, though we can do that afterwards. So Yes, let's get more iron engines and continue a bit of our work. More iron engines will mean that we will be able to have this running a bit longer. I'm thinking 4 more iron engines, so that will require 4 pistons. We're missing redstone. 4 pistons, 12 iron, bunch of iron gears, and obviously we do not have enough iron. Now where is that iron reserve that I have cooking up somewhere? Iron, iron, iron. You're not iron. Iron. Okay. Taking this iron, we can throw it back into here, and too bad this setup didn't work, but it's not really a problem right now. Sufficient. Let's see. Divide that by 3, that will be enough. Okay, that will mean I will need 8 gears. Put this here. Put this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Split in 2. And give me iron gears right here, please. Thank you. 1. And some. Is setup working? Setup is working. So we can keep that going. And then fuel these up with a bit of some liquid awesomeness. We'll need to obviously reorient because it is a jerk. And it is filling up the pipes, and it will continue to do so for a while. We can risk it by adding some more pipes, or we can just keep it safe and sane for later. Fill this up with fuel. Hey, sane? It's not really fun, okay? So let's just fill these up with water. And to make it nice and even, we're going to, well, that's going to go quick enough, it looks like. Though I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch now, shall I? Okay, gonna have to break this, put that there. Gonna have to break this and this to put this here. And finally, we're going to need to get some more of this to keep that running, or start it running rather, and actually break the wall a bit. Now this is the reason why I don't like having all of this wiring around the place. It makes it a little too difficult for everything. Now with that energy in stock, we should be able to get these running at a reasonable speed, though we do seem to have a bit of energy to spare. So that will be another reason why I don't like that, because eventually it's going to be at the point where, hey, I've got too much energy to spare and I'm wasting it. So let's eliminate that possibility by just taking one set of engines out of commission. You know what would be good? A ladder. A ladder would be very good for this. And we got 2 iron AND gates. No words describe how pissed I am. Okay, 2 iron AND gates. 1, and let's actually... Okay, we got 1. That's fine. Pipe empty, power traversing, engine green. Got that good. Why it's a little like that? Okay. we're going to need to get another thing working on this with us. We're going to also want to see whether there's any of this going along with it. So now if we check the options, we'll want to see if the red pipe signal is on. Okay, if red pipe signal is on, we're going to want to transmit a redstone signal. We're then going to need to find a way to get this red pipe signal to come from this or down. Actually, yes, no, yes, no, huh, blah. Okay. This redstone pipe stuff is going to just go down like this. So, okay, I think what we should do is have some sort of way just to patch this and to, let's see, cobblestone pipe, cobblestone structure pipe will need gravel, 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 gravel. Do I have gravel? Of course I don't have gravel. Why would I have such a convenient thing? So I think we should go for just 4 pieces of cobblestone structural pipe to just bring it up here so that we can put a lever and see if our idea is actually working. So we got the structural, we got that stuff, and that's not the problem. So we can just go with 16 of this and go with our handy dandy transmutation ability. Thank you. And of course you give me that. It's probably all we're gonna need actually. So let's take our gravel and get our structural pipe and put it here and here and put all of this down. Now it should patch over. Yes, it did. And we should take our AND gate right here and put in a stinking lever, which we probably don't have, which is typical pretty much. Anyways, let's program this so that when it receives a... Okay, that's not possible. Okay. We want it so that when we receive a redstone signal, we'll want it to give us some energy. There we go. So, let's see. Lever, lever, lever. Crafting another lever. Yay. See what happens when you attempt science. It never seems to go your way, you know? Oh well. So, this should be attached. So, when it receives a redstone signal, it should turn on the redstone pipe wire, which will then turn on those 2 engines. To demonstrate, I'm going to turn off all of the engines. And does that even... Yep, that gets enough water, so I shouldn't be worried. I'll turn them off and let them cool a bit so that we'll be able to test it. Okay, that should be enough time. So when we flip the switch, it should send the redstone signal down the pipe. And if this bloody thing is cool enough, we'll probably have to toggle it a few times. I tested you earlier. Why must you be like this? So, now that the sun is cleared, maybe they're solar powered. We see that they're actually working and, well, the singular one is actually providing some energy. Not really enough to make this go like super, super, super fast or something like that, but it will be enough, just enough to prove the concept. We can probably have some other sort of, maybe a computer-controlled area which will control how many of these engines we want. Like in to the power of 2 increments. Like, hey, I want either 2, 4, 8, 16, or 32 engines on at a single time. That will be fun. I will like it. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Don't be afraid to give a suggestion because I might ignore it. Wave time. Signing off. I just love to see this stuff go in action. Flip. Have a wonderful day.